It's Al Cole from CBS Radio, host of the syndicated talk show People of Distinction, cluing you in that in our 21st century, I'll tell you, products and services are sold through video. That's right, so sell it through video at Al Cole Enterprises and SAG 14 Production Company. You got it, and right now you got it too. Enjoy another outstanding audio clip from our international guest list featuring my son, the fantastic Benji Cole, on People of Distinction.
And on the line with us today, we have Bernard Pollard. We'll be discussing his new book, Character, Do You Have It? A Closer Look at Your Relationships, available at Amazon.com. And just so you guys are aware, Bernard was brought to People of Distinction by Ingress Advertising Publishing. If you have a book that you'd like moved, move it through Ingress. You can find them at ingressadvertising.com. And guys, I am so excited to have Bernard here on the line with us because the book that we're going to be discussing, Character, Do You Have It? A Closer Look at Your Relationships. Listen, it says it right there in the title, okay? We're going to be examining really how we approach relationships. And when we talk about relationships, we're not just talking about relationships between significant others and lovers. Absolutely. I mean, that may come into the topic of discussion, but this is really relationships across the board, right? And what we bring into those relationships and the stresses that we put on ourselves through that. And listen, Bernard is going to be able to go in through all the nuances. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about your book, Character, Do You Have It? A Closer Look at Your Relationships. Tell us a little bit about it. Give us a brief synopsis.
Well, it's a rhetorical question because everyone has character. Mm-hmm. But it's how we build that character that is going to determine how we interact with others. And those things are where a lot of the issues I've come across with people that they have problems with. How to be that brother, that sister, that aunt, uncle, whatever the relationship may be. And this is where we clash. So these are a lot of things that I wrote about and talked about over the years and advising people. So I wanted to write it down because people need to know how we conduct ourselves is going to affect how we interact with other people as we walk through life.
Yeah, I mean, such a great message there right off the bat. And I'm so looking forward to going into it and, maybe even getting a few tips from you during the interview. Now, before we go there, let's talk about your inspiration. Now, inspiration in itself can take many forms, right? Now, we kind of started to go into exactly why you were inspired to write this book and how you stated you always were talking to people and sometimes your words were misconstrued. So you figured, let's put it down on the page, and this way it's set in stone. Now, were there any other inspirations to help with this particular narrative, or even besides that, inspired you to become a writer? I mean, really, were there authors that inspired you, people that inspired you? Why did you feel the need to go on this creative journey?
One of the people that did inspire me was Sigmund Freud. I love the way he stood out in a time when things were taboo. Mm-hmm. But he spoke on them. And though he was, put down quite a bit back in that time, today a lot of people pull to his writings to understand how the mind thinks.
I've done so many of these interviews by this point. I think that's the first time I've had a Freud reference on my show. That's thank you very much for that, Bernard. Now,
thank you.
As you were younger, as you were growing, did you see yourself as an author, or was this almost like a thing that was kind of a call to action almost because of the fact that, it just seemed like a natural thing to do? You've always been giving people advice and talking to people that way. Why not make a book and put it into words? How did that come about?
Well, you're pretty much correct there. I wanted to put it into words because I wanted to get to more people than what I knew mm-hmm. in my only social setting, because I know there's a lot of other people that suffer from certain things from listening to people talk, from the internet, from talk shows and so forth. So I'm not trying to counter anyone, but just try to help express to everyone some of the things that they may not understand from their level. As you noticed in the beginning of my book I wrote, I'm not writing a message that is so collegiate written that those of the regular street cannot understand it. And that's why I want to reach as many people as possible, not just those that have the education.
It's Al Cole from CBS Radio, host of the syndicated talk show People of Distinction, cluing you in that in our 21st century, I'll tell you, products and services are sold through video. That's right, so sell it through video at Al Cole Enterprises and SAG 14 Production Company. You got it, and look forward to enjoying other outstanding audio clips from our international guest list featuring my son, the fantastic Benji Cole, on People of Distinction.